Our skin is the mirror of our soul. Our skin is our largest sensory organ. Our skin needs a healthy microbiome balance. This is regulated by its pH value, which protects the skin from pathogens, cold and ultraviolet rays. Salmabad protects your skin.
Hello dear friends, good evening. We are back with yet another episode of BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World, Nothing But Lifestyle, a talk show with the expert doctors of Al Hilal hospitals and medical centers. In today's digital world, screens have become an integral part of our children's lives, and parents have concerns regarding the mental and physical well-being and the overall development of their children. To throw more light to this topic, we have with us Dr SHEJU THOMAS, the specialist pediatrician from Al Hilal Hospital, Salmabad. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much. I'm very happy to be here on the show. I've been here in Bahrain for the past 7 years. I've been working with the Al Hilal group for the past 7 years, and it's been a blessing till now. The road's been really good till now. So I'm really happy to be here representing the Al Hilal group and to talk about this very important topic today.
It's a pleasure, Doctor.
Absolutely.
So, Doctor, why has screen time become such an important concern for parents today?
If you look at all the studies and everything, things that are happening around the world, especially in the medical forum, what you would notice is that it's not only just the parents who are concerned right now, it's the whole medical fraternity that is concerned, especially the pediatrics group. You take the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, everybody is involved in research concerning the mental health, the mental development, and all the physical problems that arise in children because of increased screen time. So this is not just a topic which is being put under the carpets right now. It's actually being researched with a lot of researchers in the field going through each and every possible problem that can arise in our children because of excessive screen time. So it's not only the parents that should be concerned and are concerned, it's also the whole medical fraternity, especially the pediatricians who are concerned about what actually is happening to the children who use too much of screens right now. So yes, it is very important right now. And why is it important is, see, basically, we are going to hand over the baton into our next generation. So what we train and what we rear right now, or what the children or the generation that we are trying to raise right now, are going to become our future also. They are going to be the ones holding our hand. They're going to be the ones in positions like ours, sitting, treating other people, doing a lot of things that are help in the society and in the family structure. So we should be very careful as to the kind of children we are raising up and what they become, so that at least not only is their future reliable, but also make sure that our futures are we leave them in proper hands. Like the saying goes, make the world a better place for them and for us also. So that's why it's considered important. This topic is very, very important in today's scenario.
Doctor, can you now speak about the impact of screen time on the attention span, learning and behavior of children?
So this is the most important concern about children, aside from the fact that screen time has a lot of negative effects on the attention of the children, the learning capacity, the learning abilities, the memory capacity of the children. So what happens is, the more children have spent on screen time, the very less amount of attention that they give to the rest of the things that happen around them. For example, research has showed that children who spend more amount of time on the screens, concentrating on what is happening out in the reels and in the media or social groups or whatever it may be, have very less interest in what's happening actually around them. Children who have very high screen time during their daily activities, as part of their daily activities, have shown to have decreased academic achievements. They're studying, the parents notice that suddenly their studies have started to go down, their grades have started to go down, they're less interested in what's happening in the family. They do not see the more beautiful things that happen around them. Rather, they concentrate on that imaginary world that the media has created for them. Now, imagine a family going for a trip, to a beautiful place. Take it New Zealand or Switzerland or wherever it may be. Parents who have actually planned this trip are very excited about it. Children are also initially very excited. But if you look at the children who have gadgets, in the airport, you will be seeing them on the mobiles. While traveling on the countryside of their tourist destination, you'll be seeing them on mobiles. What are they doing? They're just chatting with their friends. They're showing photos rather than admiring what's going on around them and forgetting the fact that these are the memories which actually last. Your photo is in the cloud. That may disappear anytime. The day the internet collapses, this will happen. But something that's in your brain is imprinted there for life. That particular moment, I'm sure we all have particular moments like that in our lives. We remember those first times when we held our children, when they were born. When we have gone to that particular place with our parents and the moment they had their first year, all these kind of things, the happiest moments in our parents' lives, all these things we remember. It's not because we had photographs at that time. It's because of that memory, that that imprint that has been left in our mind. And that is very, very important. That is where children are losing their attention. This is what they don't understand. This is what they don't observe. So that is about attention. Learning disability, like I said, children who focus more on this have very less or decreased learning capabilities. They concentrate less in their studies because they are agitated by the thoughts that are going on in their head. More than concentrating on what is studying, it is about, after I finish studying, what am I going to watch? Is their concentration. They just try to finish off whatever it is and they just concentrate more on what they want to watch. What is tomorrow's agenda? What is going to be on tomorrow's reel? That sort of thing. How many likes have I got? So these are the unnecessary things which actually spoil everything for the children. And that's how it is. So this is how it affects the children in their attention, in their concentration on different things that happen around them.
Doctor, we know that screen time affects the sleep pattern of children.
Yeah.
Can you now speak about it?
The sleep patterns of children. Now, as I said, two most reputed organizations, the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the IAP, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics. There are a lot of other organizations also, but these were the two that I had done my research on before talking about this topic. And every adolescent also, it's not just the small kids who require 8 to 9 hours, it's every adolescent also, a child who is 11 to 13, teenagers, all these kids require 8 to 9 hours of sleep. How many children go to the bed without their phones? You'd be very surprised to see that at least 60 to 70%, according to studies, 60 to 70% always carry their phones to their bed. They scroll these things before they go to sleep. So what does it do to their minds? First, their minds are fully filled with such dreams. Like, I want to become like that person, I want to become like this, I want to have 5 jets, I want to have those watches, I want to live like this. And this is just dreams and it torments them. Then their whole idea is, based on how to get to those dreams. Okay, so it's all in their dreamland, because as soon as they get up, they awaken to reality. Now, even instilling unnecessary thoughts in the minds of children before sleep is very important. Earlier, it was always a custom to pray before you sleep. Right now, all those things are missing. It's about the last thing you do is your mobile phones before you sleep.
And the first thing
they get up in the morning after the is, did I get any likes for my video? Or who has posted the last video? Anything new has come up on Instagram? So the day also starts with that. And the sleep patterns, when destroyed, it definitely scientifically has been proved to alter the the brain growth and the brain development of children. Parents think it's not very serious, but they will realize all that only at a later stage in life, when sleep deprived children start behaving violently, when all the stress starts starts gathering in their head, and they start acting weird, and have all sorts of catastrophic things happening in schools, at homes, in families, in the future. When these things happen, then the parents will start to realize how much of a bad impact this thing has had on the brain development. Children not being able to learn properly, children not being able to concentrate, not being able to focus on anything, not being able to multitask, nothing's happening. So that is when the parents will start to understand all this, and definitely researchers are coming out with a lot of material, written material, literature material on what these things are. So parents are definitely going to get access to it also. They are going to understand, okay, this is a mistake we have made. So that's why these talk shows are all going on about such topics. We need to change as soon as possible. We need to change those routines. Absolutely no mobile phones at least 2 hours before bed, all mobiles to be shut out, or all control apps to be put in place, so that no access to the internet or games or whatever it may be 2 hours before bedtime. It gives a sound sleep, helps your mind relax, because only if the mind relaxes at night is it going to grow or develop. A constantly working brain without rest is definitely going to wear out at some point of time very fast than a brain which has a proper rest, then work, then leisure, all that. But a brain which is constantly working, not having any sort of rest, is definitely going to break down fast, that's for sure.
Now, doctor, coming to the physical health concerns, what do you have to say about the physical health concerns like eyesight, posture, obesity? Are these connected to sleep time?
They are very much connected. We'll start with eyesight. Now, imagine you have a small screen in front of you and you're constantly watching a small screen. So the muscles of your eyes have this particular ability to move your eyeballs in certain directions. Okay, now imagine you're watching a large screen. Your muscles, your eyes take very, more time to focus. Like if in a big television, if the event is happening across the screen, your eyes move like that, your heads also move at the same time. But imagine if it's a small screen, the movement is so fast and your eyes have to adjust and move so fast. So there are muscles that connect to the eyeballs. There are lots of cases where children have suddenly started having squint. Squint is where one eye loses, or a muscle to the eyeball loses its power and suddenly it goes in one direction. A lot of cases are there like this. So definitely eye power is lost. Your normal refractive index is lost. You have to probably go in for spectacles with very, very high powers. Otherwise, you have to go in for surgeries. Then there are squints which needs to be corrected by surgeries. All these things are happening as what I think is in the next coming years, ophthalmology and this opticians are going to be one of the biggest businesses. Basically, because every child you see will be wearing a glass. Because
now itself most of
the kids are all wearing glasses, and that also with very high powers. And people are running around for surgeries. Obviously, these kind of problems are happening. That is why these particular specialties are all picking up very fast. That is about the eyes. Now, about obesity, another very big problem that has come up. You take a vacation, take for the Gulf countries, vacations. So, what happened to these children during summer vacations? Some of the children whose parents can afford it, they send them to summer classes, activities to keep them out of the house. But there's so many of them who cannot afford that, right? For them, the only option is give the child a tab or something to sit at home and just to watch. And they also put in a lot of food. Anyway, the children are at home, so we'll put a lot of snacks at home so that the children will keep quiet. They will not do any mischief, and they'll just sit and eat and watch whichever media device has been given. And that has increased the number of problems that we are seeing in children. Children who should be 20, 30 kilos are all 60 and 100 kilos. How can that happen? We blame genetics for it. It's not genetics. You will not find, in some families, you will not even find a single person who is obese, but the children will all be obese. Some think, children are very healthy. No, it's not healthy. It's not good health, basically. They are sitting on munching on carbohydrates and chips and God knows what all, and just watching reels. No movement at all. That is absolutely going to cause problems. Why has diabetes increased a lot in juveniles right now? Why has the levels increased? Why has the rates increased? Why do cardiac arrest, heart attacks happen in the younger age group? It's all related to our health. It's about how we manage our health. So the childhood is basically known as the foundation of life itself. Like, you have a foundation. When you're starting to construct a building, imagine you use the best for your foundation. You use good quality cement, you use good quality sand, or whatever it may be. Building materials are good. Anything that you build on top will actually sustain itself. But if you have a very bad foundation, your childhood or the health that you've tried to create, the food that you're eating makes up that foundation. If that has gone wrong, if that is bad, trust me, that building will not stand too much. The moment any sort of pressure like the rain or the wind or anything comes on top of that, that structure is going to collapse. It's not only in health, we see it all around us. People who use bad materials for construction, definitely bridges collapse, buildings collapse, all these things collapse. So health is also like that. That's why all these things are important, and one of the main causes for this is a child who's moving around will not keep eating. A child who's simply sitting without any work to be done, simply sitting in front of a screen, enjoying the screen time, definitely will be eating. And what he's eating will not matter as long as it is going into his mouth and he's munching on it. So yes, screen time also has been known to cause increase in the obesity cases. A lot of health risks are also there. Posture. A lot of children come with back pains. Back pains are something which, when in our generation at least, we relate to 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds with back pains who've been working in farms and, basically labor, hard labor. That is the kind of sector of people who present with back pains and neck pains and wrist pains. Now a lot of children are coming with these problems. Why? Because they just sit crouched in front of their television or their media or whatever it may be, holding their mobile phones. Their neck is always like that without any sort of movement. Hours and hours can go on like that. Finally, when they start to move, they'll definitely feel pains. A lot of medicines being given unnecessarily for all this. Whereas where medicines should be avoided and mobile phones taken out of the hand, mobile phones are given more and medicines are also given more. So a lot of this. These are just some of the few problems that we have discussed because of the time limits that we have. Some of the few problems that, I have talked about.
Doctor, you already mentioned about brain development being affected by screen time. Can you make it more clear for us?
Okay, so the American Academy and the Indian Academy both very came out with very clear principles, and according to what I have read and what I have seen, any child less than 3 years old should never be given any sort of mobile phones or media devices unless it is a chatting with their grandparents back home. That is the only time a child less than 3 years old is supposed to be exposed to uh, the media or a mobile phone or laptop, whatever it may be. Uh, this is the most important period of the brain development. I have come across a child during my practice, and I've never met anybody like that. She's a 1.5-year-old girl, and I will not mention any names, but she is in the Limca Book of Records. She is in a world record. These are all Indian records, but they're basically world records. She has a name there because she can recognize a 1.5-year-old child can name 170 different objects, different colors. You point it, she will name it. All right. Now, when I looked back into how the child has never been exposed to anything, nothing. It was the mother who sat and taught her each and everything, and the child has already gained fame in such a high level where even now we cannot reach. So that is the power of the human brain at such a young age. They have brains that are as powerful as a sponge. When you put a dry sponge into water, the amount of water it sucks in, that's exactly how a human brain is when it's at 2 years in that developing stage. So you can imagine how much of memory power, how much of absorption this brain has. And everything that they see around them, they quickly absorb that knowledge, quickly absorb that memory. And at any point of time in their life, they can definitely, put that out. So that is very, very important. So up to 2 to 3 years, brain development is scientifically, we know that brain develops by about 2 to 3 years at the maximum stage. And so during that time, putting any sort of media, giving any sort of social media devices to them, getting them involved in games and that kind of stuff on the mobiles is absolutely restricted. Of recently, there is one, I think it was Australia, I'm not very sure. They came up with a law, actually. They passed a law stating that all social media devices and all social media platforms to be restricted or banned for children under 16 years of age. I'm not sure how true that is, but if a country has come up with something like that, trust me, they're not stupid. Okay, they have come up with such a law because they have realized what it is doing to their generation, and they've taken an action. Of recently, there's a game called Roadblocks, which almost every child knows, and you ask them about Roadblocks, they go on and on and on. It is banned in certain countries right now because they have understood how dangerous that thing is, how destructive the children become, how children shift to how they make money on it. They use these children as bait, tempting them to move a lot into credit cards and that kind of stuff and rewards and that. And children are all being pushed in that way. So less than 3 years of age, absolutely no mobile phones unless it is talking with the grandparents. From 3 years of age to about 8 years of age, what they're saying is one hour per day or 1.5 hours per day. Maximum, that is the only time that is allowed. And co-viewing, that the parent be there along with the child while watching the mobile or the media is very important. That is one of the things that were actually advised on this particular research. Co-viewing is very important so that we know what our children are watching, the kind of content they are being exposed to is also very important. So, educational purposes, yes, definitely you can teach them different things on the media, but That's where this is important. Co-viewing is very, very important, so that our children don't simply scroll through reels, and just that a little bit of dopamine release, which gives them a little bit of happiness, suddenly that is gone. So this dopamine being released on and off and on and off actually wears it out, and finally you will require a lot more to actually satisfy your children's needs, and that becomes something which is dangerous in the future. And from 8 years to 13 years and above, whatever it may be, whichever adolescent group it goes to, is maximum of 2 hours. And one of the researchers actually said, if you're going to give a phone to your adolescent child, always make sure it is your normal one and not a smartphone. The old Nokias, the old 1100s. I mean, I know it is hell, but your children may be moving to schools, through tuitions. So when you need a phone to contact them, this phone will absolutely help. So this is what all the research says. But yeah, what's important, what we need to take away from this is, below 3 years of age, absolutely no mobiles. Above 3 years to about 8 years, we can give 1 to 1.5 hours of mobile, but with co-viewing. The parent or the guardian is there along with the child, viewing, seeing what is being gone through or what is being looked through, what kind of content is being looked through. And above that, social medias are taken out, games discouraged, all these kind of things. So that's how much we should be concentrating on giving children.
Thank you, Doctor.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing your valuable insights regarding screen time.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope this episode is helpful. For more informative episodes, tune into BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Till we meet again next time, this is Jasila Mujib signing off. Good night.
Our skin is the mirror of our soul. Our skin is our largest sensory organ. Our skin needs a healthy microbiome balance. This is regulated by its pH value, which protects the skin from pathogens, cold and ultraviolet rays. Salmabad protects your skin.